Welcome back, Hodlers. It's TA Tuesday, brought to you by BitBuy. So we are going to do a quick little summary of the MACD. Before we get into that specifically, I really want to update you on where the market is. One coin in particular that we are extremely bullish on here at Haws Hodls, so we'll take a look at that. Of course, we are talking about Polkadot. Now, if you remember, just a little while ago, just a couple of weeks ago, I had said Polkadot is going back to its all-time high in short order. I mentioned that we are due to go back to all-time high, and here we are. We are technically at this point in price discovery mode. What that means is essentially DOT is seeking for a new price, a new settling point to either get rejected at, get support at, whatever is going to happen with Polkadot. So near term, have no idea where we can go. We could go really high. We could stay around $52. It's anyone's game. Depends on how healthy the market is and if Bitcoin holds up at a 63,500,000. If you did invest in Polkadot down in this capitulation event and then up on this uptrend, you're doing very well, more than 5x your investment if you got at the bare bone bottom. If you got at $10, you're up 5x at this point. But a lot of people got up at $20, $23, even $30, and I still think those prices were a good buy for Polkadot. You also see that as well with KSM. Of course, a lot of this is happening right now with Polkadot and KSM because of the Polkadot parachains coming out. There's a lot of projects that you need to be aware of, one being Moonbeam. We've talked about it before. And there's a few others, so keep your nose to the grindstone on that one. So, of course, where could Polkadot go realistically in the short term? I have no idea. I have no earthly clue if we're going to continue going up or if we are just going to trade level or get rejected. Really, only time will tell. But I can tell you in the long term, if we're talking about the long term of by the end of this year or even by the end of the cycle into 2022, probably around March or even a little bit earlier that we peak, somewhere around there, we are going to see somewhere in the region of that $100 Polkadot. Now, I'm more north of that, maybe like the $150. I'm a little bit bullish on what Polkadot can do and the interoperability of this blockchain with legacy blockchain. So I think it's going to be very powerful in the space, and it's not a token that you should sleep on. So I did want to talk about this article here. Is Polkadot eyeing $100 next? The DOT price jumps 25%, triggering the classic bullish chart pattern. Now they are saying, essentially the analyst that they're referencing off of is saying that Polkadot could hit upwards to $100 in the near term. I'm assuming within the next coming weeks. Now it's high. $100 is approximately 100% increase from now. Is that out of the question for Polkadot to do? I don't think so. I don't think that kind of move is out of the question. Now, of course, maybe I'm a little bearish saying 150 as the end of the market cycle, but I stick by that because that was one of my original predictions. If we do overshoot that by a lot, I'll be extremely pleased because I don't plan to sell a lot of my Polkadot. I do plan to take some profits at some point here, but we do have a lot of the parachain auction FOMO happening. So there is a lot of that motion happening within the market. Everyone's really excited about what's coming for the Polkadot network. So of course the Polkadot price is going up. Then we also see KSM doing a similar move. We looked at that and looked at the chart specifically. So we do see that increasing as well. So we are at our BitBuy chart to take a look at what the MACD is and talk about how the MACD is used to identify if we have a trend reversing and how we use the MACD to identify trading signals for both long-term and short-term trades. But it helps identify when there's going to be a trend difference in the next coming time intervals, candles, whatever it may be. So the moving average convergence divergence, or the MACD, is a trend momentum indicator. And the MACD is calculated by subtracting the 26 EMA, whether that be day, hour, whatever chart you're looking at, from the 12 EMA, which is exponential moving average. So you have a couple of different aspects of the MACD. One is the actual MACD line, which is that EMA, that 9-day EMA from that subtraction. And then you have what's called the signal line. And these two lines, when they converge, it's often used as a trading signal. And you can identify here that when they do cross, there is a trend change in the actual histogram. So one, in terms of short-term trading, a lot of traders use this as an entry signal when they see the switch in trend. And the MACD can also indicate an acceleration of that trend, so you know when things are about to get really bullish. For example, if we take a look at the Bitcoin USD chart earlier we were looking at the Bitcoin Canadian chart, you see right now that we deked out of this crossing of the two moving averages, and our MACD and our signal line are actually just going higher, increasing our trend, and now our trend is going up. So I'm hoping that the MACD kind of helps illustrate this point as well, that the trend can continue to go up. And also we're going to use the 50-day moving average or the 50-week moving average in this example, because we are looking at the weekly time frame. Now, if you take a look at the 50-week moving average, after each kind of market peak, there would have been a point where the market or the chart would essentially come up to that 50-week moving average and test it and either fall below or remain hold support and hold above. Now, to illustrate that specifically, we do have an example of right here where we went to the 50-week, where we were able to hold it, and now we're continuing to trend up. That doesn't mean too much, but let's take a look at 2017. We can see clearly that we went to the 50-week and went below it and then extended into an accumulation zone. So see the same in the previous bull run, but what's interesting about the previous bull run is we did get a retest of that 50-week, not quite, but we basically went to the fair value of Bitcoin, but we did gain some support on that and we're able to trend upwards for another peak. So as long as we can hold above the 50-week for a while, in which we have, because we've gotten some testy kind of moves there, but we have been able to make it above. And we did see even at the bare bones bottom of that capitulation, the MACD was on a reversal, and you can see the EMAs trending upwards, telling us that we were going to hold some support at that 50-week moving average and go up above it. And now we are continuing this and could go into a bullish cycle similar to what happened here on the MACD, just trending upwards on this chart. So we still have a lot more to go is all I'm trying to get at. And right now the trend is looking pretty bullish for this trend and the upwards trend to still continue. Of course, we're still going to get the red candle here and there if we look at the daily, hourly, whatever. But that being said, over time, in general, we're basically going to trend up from here. Now, we could get some retracements. I know a lot of people are calling for a $52,000 Bitcoin. I personally am not in the camp that that's going to happen anytime soon, or even a sub $50,000 Bitcoin. I feel that there's a lot of health in the market that we're not realistically going to see something like that happen. Okay, so now that we learned a little bit more about the MACD, let's take a look at some altcoin news. In terms of Cardano specifically, they are scaling to upgrade to the Hydra upgrade as the network reaches 2 million wallets. So more people are using Cardano. The system is growing. They are updating into Hydra. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm talking about altcoins for the big factor that's what's going to happen next. We have Bitcoin sitting at 63,000, probably going to go up a lot more at this point. And most likely we are eyeing roughly between the 70 to 80,000 in the near term, as long as Bitcoin can pick it up and keep bullish. So we will see eventually Cardano make a breakout from this downtrend. We'll definitely see XRP's breakout already kind of began, but it's not at anything that we haven't seen in the recent past here. So nothing special about what's happening with this altcoin. Ethereum is in price discovery mode at $4,527. Huge price for Ethereum. And again, this just goes to show the strength of the crypto market right now. We have a main cap coin. The second cap coin, Ethereum, is in price discovery mode. And then we have Polkadot, who is kind of in the same area, right? So we have a little bit of a downtrend at this point in Polkadot, but Ethereum is making its way up to $4,500, hopefully $4,600. So I'm just trying to hit the point home that, hey, we have a lot of movement happening within altcoins. A lot of altcoins are going to pump, so don't look away from altcoins because they're going to definitely do well in the near term. Of course, in the near term, Bitcoin is also going to go up. Bitcoin drives this market entirely. So if Bitcoin does see a massive rejection, then at that point, most altcoins will suffer. So just keep that in mind. But most likely, everything right now is looking pretty bullish for Bitcoin. It's looking bullish on the MACD. And overall, there's a lot of market health. Right now, we're sitting at approximately $2.7 trillion. The crypto market is at an all-time high right now. So there is definitely a lot of health within this market. That's it for me. Hopefully this video helped you. If it did, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe to the channel for more crypto news and content. And if you want to sign up for the safest crypto exchange in Canada, go ahead and click on the link down in the description below to sign up for BitBuy. You'll get a reward when you make your first deposit, and it also gives me a reward so you support the channel. All right, everyone. Happy hodling.